Hello there. Welcome to another weekly plan with me in my Hobonichi A6 weekly supplemental. Today I'm going to be using my Pilot. Nope, I'm wrong. It's a Uni Jetstream. It is a multi-pen. I love this thing and I can't recommend it enough, especially because it comes in such a fine tip. I think this one might be 0.38 or something like that. But you can refill it with whatever sizes they do offer. Also, it has a pencil, which is just, I don't know, such an amazing feature to be able to have for pen colors as well as a pencil. Anyway, I digress. Let's go ahead and get started. Oh, and also for this week's particular color scheme, I'm going to be using the new Zebra mild liner in the color olive. And I'm also going to be using my, which one is it? The Pentel Fude Touch brush sign pen. I believe the color is Dusty Pink, but they don't have the colors listed. And let's go ahead and get started. So for this particular week, let's go ahead and finish this week. It was a very busy week. It basically did not really look exactly like this. There were some things that were, moved around a little bit. And I also used my Pilot Kakuno fountain pen, which I've been having fun with actually. I've been writing in my notebook, just like a generic notebook with typical paper, and it does bleed a little bit into the previous page, which is fine because I'm also trying to use up that notebook and be done with it. But I've actually been having a lot of fun using this, and I did enjoy using it in my little planner here. However, as you can see, I got a little smudgy because I was writing some stuff, I think it was on Sunday, and I was like filling out stuff here, and then I decided to jump to the left and do like stuff over here, and I had my hand resting when I was writing stuff, so I thought it was dry, but it wasn't, and I got some ink here. I smudged some ink there. I also smudged, it was really bad right here. Let's see if I can get a little bit closer. And so I just took some whiteout and wrote over it. It might be, yeah, it's too difficult to see, but basically the fountain pen did not like writing on the whiteout. I believe the whiteout that I used was a Kokio. Yeah, this is the whiteout that I used. So I don't think I was pressing all that hard. I don't know if it's just because it's a fine nib that it's just gonna get a little bit scratchy on whiteout. So that was basically my only issue. So now if I just need to basically be a little bit more aware of how I'm planning, so that at least I protect the stuff either by putting a piece of paper down or just trying to blot it before I, potentially put my hand in places it probably shouldn't be in the first place. So let me go ahead and get you zoomed in after all that chatter. And I'm gonna start by putting down some stickers. So last week was very, very busy with a lot of meetings. It was my first week at my new job, so super happy about that. In that case, I'm just gonna put this rainbow here. I didn't do any filming. Well, I did a little bit of filming for my Sticky Club mail that I got, so that was a lot of fun. I'm super pumped to just get back into my daily pages and start putting some stickers down and writing stuff. So I do need to eventually get around to that. So again, these things are probably going to be a little bit disorganized just because I don't know how to get myself properly organized for filming these and having some kind of like methodology for putting stickers down, I guess in a more organized fashion. So let's go ahead and just do some things. Yeah, so as I was saying, the first week was just crazy busy. We had a lot of meetings back to back. It was very tiring for me. It's hard for me. So I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but I have been diagnosed with narcolepsy. I guess there's two types. So there's a type that's you often see in like in movies and TV and stuff like that, where somebody's like interacting and then all of a sudden they like fall asleep. Usually that's like the type where it's actually I'm going to use the blue one. Usually that's the type of narcolepsy where it's brought on by I don't want to say heavy emotion, but like by some extreme emotion. I don't know how to exactly say that. So it was brought on by it, yeah, so it's like if you're laughing or crying excessively or something like that, and I don't think it's sudden where somebody would fall asleep. These, by the way, are from Paper Bits Co. Anyway, I've been ranting enough. So the other type of narcolepsy is the kind that I have. So basically it's like, and they have ways of measuring. I had to do a couple of sleep studies to do this, and they can tell whether or not somebody might have narcolepsy. So anyway, based on the sleep study, they said, yes, you do. Played some Animal Crossing on Sunday. So anyway, with my particular type of narcolepsy, it's just like if I'm not in some kind of way of being stimulated or engaged in something, then I tend to be sleepy and get really, really sleepy. And at times it sucks because I can't necessarily control it, and I try so hard. I think the only way really would be to like stand up, but even then it's like my body is begging to sit down. It's just, it sucks. I'm not a fan of having narcolepsy. I did have medication that I was taking, but with the uncertainties, because it is a pretty dang new medication, it's not known whether or not it could affect certain aspects of my fertility, so I've just have stopped taking it, and it's fine. It's not like I can't function without it. As you can see, I can spend time filming videos and editing them and uploading them and all that jazz, but yeah, things can get challenging at times. Like there has been before I got my diagnosis, and that's really what led to me going to my doctor and saying, hey, I think this is serious. Is I was driving, I was at a red light, and I just got so sleepy and I dozed off. It was probably, I dozed off for maybe literally 1 second, but that 1 second was just enough to be like, And the fact that it had happened more than once really, to me, alerted me like this isn't how things should be going, especially because there would be times where I'd actually be driving and suddenly it's just like my body really, really wants to doze off. I have to pull over. Because it's just too much. I don't know what else really to do besides, deal with it. So anyway, nowadays it's not so bad. I don't know if it's necessarily lifestyle changes or workarounds or what, but I just have to basically find ways to deal with it. So this sticker, by the way, is from the Coffee Monsters Co. Little watering can. And let's do a walking the dogs. This is cute. This one is from Brianna Nicole Designs. It'll ever focus. Oh, more or less there, you can see. All right. Yeah, so anyway, with my little off-track conversation there, the point of me talking about narcolepsy is because I would get sleepy during the meetings, and it was difficult trying to stay awake. So there were times where I would turn off my camera so that I either, got up and got a glass of water, or, to try to find something to keep myself engaged, just because it was a challenge. So I did laundry this day. By the way, I don't think I mentioned, and if I did, I'm sorry for repeating myself, but this is the also new Zebra Mild Liner color in Honey Orange. For some reason, I decided to use this combination of the Honey Orange and my Pentel brush sign pen in, I think it's Sky Blue. I'm not entirely sure. All right, so I feel like because of all the meetings, I didn't really get much done, and also it was just hard to write other things. So I don't know if I'm going to continue using this necessarily in this specific way where I write my meetings. I know that probably after this week, or even starting, well, and by this week I mean this week, I will be going back to time blocking because of the way that it's going to be a lot of self-study again for these next few months, and attending meetings as well. So it's going to be a mixture of things. And I also, again, want to stay on track and do my chores and things like that during the day so that we have the weekend to ourselves. It's really nice to be able to do that, especially working from home. It's a nice little break from when you've been sitting all day. It's a nice little break to get up and do some mild level of physical activity. Which, speaking of physical activity, I feel like, man, I am so out of shape. When I went and I hung out with my friend on Sunday, and just walking from one side of the mall to the other definitely got me winded. So I don't know if it was maybe a little bit dehydrated or if it was just the heat, because it was about 106 or 108 at that time. I'm gonna get a quick drink. Okay. Oh, I have a perfect sticker for that. So yeah, I was just getting winded from walking at a fairly brisk pace. So I need to do something to also increase my physical activity. I used to do yoga pretty frequently. I haven't for quite a long time. So I think I'm gonna text my typical yoga buddy, see if she's down for starting up again, which was kind of difficult when I was in class, because I feel like things were just so variable that I didn't know what was going to be happening, at what particular time of day. It was just really difficult to predict at times. So committing to something was, again, also difficult. I also have a friend that I haven't seen at the dog park. I have a friend that I met at the dog park, and I haven't seen her in kind of a long time. I haven't texted her in a while as well. And she lives pretty close by, So I think I'm gonna ask her and see if she wants to do yoga with me or something like that, because I miss it. I really do. Oh, edit upload. I'm gonna use this one's cute. This is from Coffee Monsters Co. Alright, and then which one? Okay, I think the foods are in here. I got a craving for a sandwich on Friday. And when that craving hits, there's really nothing I can do to stop it except satisfy it. So we went and got sandwiches for dinner on Saturday. Or Friday. I know my days. Sometimes. It was really cool because, so we were dog sitting and house sitting a little bit, and we decided since we were gonna go get sandwiches, we might as well drive over to my in-laws and eat there so that the cat could, you know, have some company, and we can do whatever we need to do to make sure the house is okay. Let me use this guy. And it was really cool because I don't know if monsoon is trying to come early, but it looked, when we were sitting by the windows having our dinner and the sun was setting, it just looked really, really cool to have like that view and see like the clouds rolling in. We thought it was going to be a haboob just because it looked very much like that typical wall of cloud kind of thing. But it wasn't, the wind wasn't all that bad. We were kind of surprised, and we were basically taking bets to see if it actually would bring the rain over. Typically the east side of my town gets rain first, which is where like the monsoons come from, but it never reached my in-laws' house, which was unfortunate, but nonetheless it made for some pretty darn good views. I thought this would show up a little bit more opaque, but I guess the paper that I was testing what colors to use it's not the same, so that's my bad. Oh well, we're committing. All right, I made that pretty big, and I just realized I did not cross my T here. I feel like my writing got pretty big toward the end of the week. Okay, and then we're gonna have my to-do section. Last week I wrote it. I think I'm gonna do the same this week. Something else too that I've been thinking as far as what I'm gonna have to adapt my planning style. Another thing I've been thinking about is planning in my Kokyo Jibun Techo. Maybe even this week, but it is Tuesday, so I don't know if, you know, by that point it's already too late. I don't know. I feel like on the one hand I have a lot of stuff on my plate, and on the other not so much, but I know things are gonna kick up soon, so I guess I want to be prepared for that, but I don't necessarily know how to prepare. So yeah, that's, you know, very descriptive and helpful. I try. I do what I can. All right. Kind of funny what the pen did here, the marker. I don't like how that turned out, but again, we are committing. It is what it is, basically. Oh, I was gonna say something and now I can't remember. I say that a lot. Okay. Oh, and even before that, no more waking up at 5 a.m., which is great. Or I'm sorry, 4:30 a.m., which is great. The one thing I am forgetting to do is my typical thing here. That's what I was gonna say. So I've noticed there's a lot of shadow, at least where I'm writing. I'm not a fan of it. I don't know how it is necessarily showing up on camera since I'm watching my hand and not the screen, but I don't like it. I imagine it doesn't look all that great. Anyway, with my computer arriving last week, I basically had to reconfigure my desk again so that the monitor, which is much bigger than the monitor I had before, and the laptop that I was also sent is also much bigger than I had before. So things have had to be moved around. I do like this configuration, except for where my lamp is. My lamp is now over that way, whereas before it was that way. And yeah, I don't like having shadow as I'm trying to write. So I'm gonna have to figure out where the camera goes. Not the camera. Actually, I didn't even think about the camera being an option as far as where it goes. But I think it's the light itself. It needs to be positioned over on my left side rather than where it is right now, it's just on my right side, because I am right-handed and naturally there would be shadows coming from that direction. I think you know what I'm trying to say. I think too, since I'm not often up at 5, or I am up at 5, shoot, I don't know. I'm having thoughts and now I'm having thoughts against having those thoughts as far as whether or not to get rid of 5 o'clock and give myself a 9 o'clock option. I don't know. That probably, because I've been putting that I walk my dog at 6, even though technically it is around 5:30. Again, more things to think about as far as how I want my planning to go. Another thing that I have been struggling with is making a daily task list and using, you know, the space up here. And if I either can't make it a habit or essentially just don't ever use it, I may start using that either to write a highlight of the day or maybe even start my 5 a.m. up here and give myself more time down here. So it's kind of fun talking things out loud. I at times feel like I'm a little bit of a, I don't know, like it feels funny to be talking to yourself. But at the same time, talking to yourself is where a lot of good ideas come from, right? And I think that's why they say when you're in the shower, you're just kind of alone with your thoughts, and shower thoughts are some of the best thoughts. So what do I need to do this week? I got my to-do list pretty well taken care of last week. I still need to move the rug, hang frames, pick pictures. This hasn't really been an issue before, but it seems to be My pen seems to be, you know, putting down a little bit more ink than typical. It's been a while since I've used it, to be honest, so maybe that could be something to do with it. Let's see. My office is turning out really great. I last week talked about how we put up shelves. I did move the TV. The TV is in a corner of the room where it's out of the way and the door can fully open and close. My dog can come in and lay on the rug. I'm talking really fast. But yeah, things are pretty well organized right now. There's just a few more things that I need to take care of, but they are small things and my office is turning out great. As far as other things I need to do this week, I need to call my grandma. Alright, well that's all I can think of as far as things to do this week, but I could always add it to my to-do list. Okay, where's my, there it is. We're gonna do meal planning again. I think I'm liking this better than putting it in the monthly calendar. Okay, so that was a pretty long period of not talking, or at least in my world, it was a little break. Let me go ahead and get zoomed out. Whoop, not that much. Hello? Okay. So yeah, that's my spread for this week. And I think before I say goodbye, I want to decorate a little bit more. I don't have a payday here. I want a payday sticker because now I have paydays. Woo! I am pretty happy about that, having my own income. I don't know what it is, but I just I don't necessarily, I felt bad that my husband, you know, it was on him to make sure that we were taken care of, basically. And I know that's part of the deal when you get married, is you may at times have to support your partner, but it's also a lot of pressure that I don't necessarily want him having, because, you know, he did take a pay cut, but I also want to make sure that, hey, I'm contributing to, not just for his sake, but, you know, even for my own, that, yeah, I am doing this with you. Oh, and we did walk Lily. We don't have Sunny anymore. She is now back with my in-laws. It was a lot of fun having her. And I think it's just so good for my dog to have her. Like, my dog actually acts a little bit more like a dog, as Sunny being my in-laws dog, spends more time with us. It's like she's learning how to be a dog and see how dogs behave, and perhaps even gain a little bit of confidence. I'm trying to convince my husband to, you know, that we get another dog, perhaps a puppy, but haven't quite convinced him. All right. I don't know if I necessarily like that sticker there, so it may or may not stay. And compared to last week, this week's not that full of meetings. Thank goodness. And they are going to be more focused on my particular training that I'll be doing for these next several months. So that'll be nice to have a more focused meetings, and I think too they're going to be a little bit more engaging, even though like this morning we woke up exhausted. I don't know what it was. Maybe we didn't get such good sleep last night or what, but we just woke up so tired that we definitely could have used more sleep. But anyway, the point is we had our 7 o'clock meeting, and it's just 3 of us, me, the other person who's training, and then the person who's training us. We had our meeting today at 7 in the morning, which is fine. At that point I am already at my desk and ready to go, but it was difficult kind of toward the last, I think, 20 minutes for me to again stay awake. So I got up. I had to. Luckily, I have a standing desk. I'm very lucky in that. I got it from IKEA. Highly recommend it. But I got a standing desk. So anyway, I raised it. I also think the sound might have been on, so they might have heard the motor revving as, you know, as the desk was lifting. But oh well, you know, these things happen. I am getting warm in here. I just want to decorate some more, you know? So, did you have a good weekend? So for us, it was super hot, and I know it is getting pretty warm across the country, and even reading in the news that it's getting kind of hot out there because of a heat dome, I think, that's going to be headed headed east, and like hitting the east and the Midwest. So I hope that you're staying cool. Now, over here on the east, or in Arizona, we're kind of used to that temperature. And I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying that because we can predict essentially because we can predict that it's not focusing, that it's going to be hot, then it's really, you know, easy for us to adapt. However, that's not necessarily the case in a lot of other states. Like I know California, they're often used to very temperate weather, and so they typically don't build houses with air conditioning units already installed, assuming that you're going to get a cool enough breeze coming in that it is survivable. And it probably is survivable, but it definitely is worrying for populations who are a little bit more vulnerable. Oftentimes, you know, we're talking about people who are homeless, people who are in not so great health, older folks, and yeah, you know, it's just kind of unfortunate that these heat waves come across in places that aren't necessarily prepared to handle the heat wave. So I said I wanted to decorate, so let's decorate. And that was basically, oh, you know what? I did use that particular color of the yellow and the blue. Do I have any more? Yes. Perfect. Sure, life is sweet. Why not? This sticker, by the way, this is from Happy Planner. I believe this was a farmhouse sticker book from a couple years ago. And these little tiny ones, that one and this one, I believe those are from Midori. Ooh, this is too big. I don't know if it'll fit anywhere. Yikes. I should have looked at that more carefully. Oh, yeah, I'm getting hot. Things are looking a little funky. We got pizza that night, so we can do pizza. Do I have... I think I might have a pizza in here. Okay. So I think that's about all I'm gonna rant about today, except for the last thing I'm gonna say is we watched the second season of The Wilds. The ending was definitely not something I was expecting, and it's making me look forward to the third season. But I do recommend this show. It is on Amazon Prime, so if you have Prime, I recommend watching it. The first season was very interesting. So it's nice to have the second season already there if you haven't seen the show to answer some of those questions. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. And if you have any questions about any of the stuff that I used, feel free to leave me a comment or even just say hello. And I hope you have a great rest of your week. Bye.